Are you ready for another check-in? Oh boy, look at this. I believe this is known as the Three Rivers. This is a area where three rivers come together, and I know one is the Lochsaw, and the other is the Clearwater, and just stunning, just beautiful. You know, I woke up this morning in way out in the boonies, and it was an hour in, and I was way out there. And I woke up this morning to a very cold camper, which was odd because I had left the heat on last night. So I woke up and it was like 60 degrees, and I couldn't figure out what was going wrong, and I thought maybe I didn't turn the propane on yesterday outside on the tank, and maybe that's why it was cold. And I went outside and it was on, but the indicator, the regulator, the indicator was off. It was red, meaning there was no propane. So I kind of panicked. I panicked because I need propane for power, I need it for heat, I need it for all those things. And there I am out in the middle of nowhere, and I need propane. The power I need to raise to hitch up the camper. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to get out of here. They'll find me in the middle of winter, or maybe in spring after I thaw out. But so I hooked up. I said, I'm out of here. I hooked up, and I said, I'm out of here. I'm heading south. And God, that's beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So I started heading south, and I called Mr. Todd Stoddard, and I said, Todd, what's going on? Todd is my go-to source for my problems, at least camping problems. But but I called Todd, and I said, Todd, I can't figure it out. And he said, well, was it cold last night? Was it below freezing? And I said, it very well may have been. And he said, it may very well be that your regulator froze. And you know what? I think he was right, because I came out of the woods and I got down here to a lower elevation, and sure enough, you see, this thing right here that's green, it was red this morning. It was red, and I don't know. But anyway, it seems like I've got gas. And I was going to run home. I was going to say, okay, trip's over. But then I thought, you only live once. And I was coming down Highway 12. And the river, it was just stunning. And I thought to myself, I got to a point where I would normally turn right and go south to go home to Boise, and I thought, screw it, I'm gonna keep going a little ways and see if there's a nice place to camp for a couple nights. And look what I found. If you look on a map, I'm standing in the little town of Lowell, 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 Idaho. So you can look on it on a map, and I'm gonna go up this road here and see if I can't find a nice place to hang my hat for a couple nights. So let's go. I'm just a mile up the road, and look at this view. Oh, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Fantastic. And look at this plant here. This is, I learned not too long ago, not from personal experience, but somebody told me this is what they'd use for toilet paper. You see? That plant. So, okay, I hope I find a nice spot. There's a ranger station up the road, so maybe that'll be where I find get my information about a good spot to camp. And just a little bit further up the road, look what I see. I see a gentleman down here fly fishing. You see? How wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And there are, as I'm driving along, there are some beautiful homes up along here. Look at this. Just beautiful, beautiful homes. And there's another beautiful home right over there. Oh, fantastic. Well, I found my way to the ranger station, the Moose Creek Ranger District. And I was just in there talking to a wonderful lady. There's a fire going on not too far from here, and they're just kind of cleaning it up. But so I can't stay in the first campground, but she pointed out some other campgrounds that I could probably stay in. So let me show you the inside of this ranger station. Look at this. They got all types of interesting information. Look at this Indian Hill Lookout, elevation 6,810 feet. Look at that. It's a 1/10 scale replica. Isn't that something? Wow. So they've got all types of historical information. A historic Selway, looking out for the forest. That's what this is called. And they've got all types of wonderful information. The first chainsaw to maintain trails on the forest, if you can see that. Wow. This was firefighting gear back in the day, I guess. There's a mess kit. You see all the gear there for the firefighters. Very cool. Very, very cool. The wild Selway, vast, isolated, and untrammeled. So, all right, let's get on with the show. I'm going to go up and look at the Boyd campground. So that's the Boyd campground is the one for RVs. So we'll go up and take a look at that. If not, I could go to the CCC camp. All right. Boy, this is like a real adventure. I gotta tell you. You know, I was, I don't know that I was expecting this. But anyway, it is what it is. And I'm hoping that at the end of it all, I'm going to find a beautiful, beautiful spot to camp for a couple nights. So we will see. Maybe I'll catch a fish. Look at that river. Wow. Well, I found my way to the Boyd Creek campground, and boy, this is not going to be without effort. But I'm going to give it the old college try and make good old Skip Smith and the Villages proud of me. Let's see what I can do. Oh goodness. Okay, so here we go. It's a tight spot, and there's a fellow camper who's camping from Oregon down here, and he's gonna maybe try to guide me a little bit into the spot and see if I can't find my way in there. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna be holding my breath, and I'm gonna put the camera down so I can focus on this. All right, and there goes David from Oregon. Boy, folks, you know, it's too bad I couldn't have had that on camera. But oh, that was a you talk about, you know, turning around 40 feet of rig in this area here. I don't know how well you can see it, but oh boy, look at this spot. It's right on the river. I've got Starlink for days. There's my river right down there. Oh, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So now I just gotta figure out how I want to position the camper and get all set up. And there goes David. He's staying in the campsite right up there, and he said that he would have liked this spot, but his rig was just too big to get in here. But oh boy. Oh, that's like parking Hall of Fame right there. That was something else. All right, let's get situated. All right, that's gonna have to do. You know, I gotta I got to make sure that it's level or relatively level so it goes to drop without a hitch. Well, it's got to drop with the hitch, but you know what I mean. So, what a nice spot this is. Look at this. Oh, goodness gracious. The road is right up there. So I'm going to see if I can't get this thing dropped and maybe spend a couple nights. We'll see. I'll take you down to the river after I drop this thing. Well, while this does its magic and self-levels, I'm going to take a walk down to the river. Now, I don't know if there's any, well, there might be bears in this area. This would be a tent spot, you know, if you were driving across the country trying to find yourself, you know, in a little car that had like an old Biden-Harris bumper sticker on it. You know, you might, you know, just put your tent right here. But, oh, I don't know if you can, well, the river's not, it's not that accessible from here at least. I'm sure there's some other spots where I'll be able to find my way down to the river. This might actually be the path right here, but I'm not gonna go too far. But look at that. I'll find my way down there one way or another, and maybe do some fishing. But right now I'm gonna have some lunch, check some email, and maybe sneak in a nap. All right, folks, have a great day.